Hello, and welcome to Deadliest Disasters, where we cover some of the most devastating events that happened throughout history. On December 26, 2004, at 7:58 a.m., the Earth beneath the Indian Ocean unleashed one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded. With a magnitude of 9.2, the undersea megathrust earthquake struck off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, triggering a catastrophic tsunami that would become the deadliest in modern history. It was the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in Asia, the most powerful earthquake in the 21st century, and at least the third most powerful earthquake ever recorded in the world since modern seismography began in 1900. The earthquake originated along a subduction zone where the Indian plate slides beneath the Burma plate. In mere moments, the seafloor shifted vertically by several meters, displacing massive volumes of water and setting in motion a series of tsunami waves that would travel across the Indian Ocean at jet aircraft speeds. Within hours, waves reaching heights of up to 30 meters, equivalent to a 10-story building, crashed into the coastline of 14 countries. The tsunami's destructive path stretched over 5,000 kilometers, from Indonesia to the east coast of Africa. Indonesia bore the brunt of the disaster. Sumatra's northern tip was almost entirely devastated. In the city of Banda Aceh, entire communities were wiped from the map. Of the estimated 230,000 people killed across all affected countries, more than 170,000 were from Indonesia alone. The hypocenter of the main earthquake was approximately 160 kilometers or 100 miles off the western coast of northern Sumatra, in the Indian Ocean, just north of Semule Island at a depth of 30 kilometers or 19 miles below mean sea level. The northern section of the Sumatra megathrust ruptured over a length of 1,300 kilometers or 810 miles. The earthquake, followed by the tsunami, was felt in Bangladesh, India, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives. Splay faults, or secondary pop-up faults, caused long, narrow parts of the seafloor to pop up in seconds. This quickly elevated the height and increased the speed of the waves, destroying the nearby Indonesian town of Lakna. Indonesia lies between the Pacific Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is about 40,000 kilometers or 25,000 miles long and up to about 500 kilometers or 310 miles wide, and surrounds most of the Pacific Ocean. The Ring of Fire contains between 750 and 915 active or dormant volcanoes, around two-thirds of the world's total. The exact number of volcanoes within the Ring of Fire depends on which regions are included. About 90% of the world's earthquakes, including most of its largest earthquakes, occur within this belt. The 2002 Sumatra earthquake is believed to have been a foreshock preceding the main event by over 2 years. A foreshock is an earthquake that occurs before a larger seismic event and is related to it in both time and space. The designation of an earthquake as foreshock, main shock, or aftershock is only possible after the full sequence of events has happened. Foreshocks can occur years prior to the main earthquake, and aftershocks often occur months after the main earthquake. Great earthquakes, such as the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, are associated with megathrust events in subduction zones. Megathrust earthquakes occur at convergent plate boundaries where one tectonic plate is forced underneath another. These earthquakes are caused by slip along the thrust fault that forms a contact between the two plates. These interplate earthquakes are the planet's most powerful. Their seismic moments can account for a significant fraction of the global seismic moment across century-scale periods. Of all the energy released by earthquakes in the 100 years from 1906 through 2005, roughly 1/8 was due to the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake. This quake, together with the Great Alaskan Earthquake of 1964 and the Great Chilean Earthquake of 1960, account for almost half of the total energy produced by earthquakes. The seismic waves of the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake were felt across the planet, as far away as the U.S. state of Oklahoma, where vertical movements of 3 millimeters or 0.12 inches were recorded. The greatest run-up height of the tsunami was measured at a hill between Lokna and Leopong on the western coast of the northern tip of Sumatra near Banda Aceh and reached 51 meters or 167 feet tall. The tsunami reached heights of 15 to 30 meters or 49 to 98 feet on the west coast of Aceh, 6 to 12 meters or 20 to 39 feet on the Banda Aceh coast, 6 meters or 20 feet on the Krung Raya coast, and 5 meters or 16 feet on the Sigli coast. In Thailand, popular tourist destinations became scenes of unprecedented destruction. The waves swept away entire beach resorts, claiming the lives of both local residents and international tourists. Phuket and Phi Phi Islands were particularly hard hit, with entire communities obliterated within minutes. Sri Lanka suffered massive casualties, with over 35,000 people killed. The island nation's coastal regions were completely transformed, with fishing villages reduced to rubble and entire communities displaced. The country's eastern and southern coastlines were hit hardest, with waves penetrating up to 2 kilometers inland in some areas. India's southeastern coast was also severely impacted, with over 16,000 lives lost. The states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands experienced widespread destruction. Coastal communities that had existed for generations were fundamentally altered in a matter of minutes. The human toll extended far beyond the immediate death count. An estimated 1.7 million people were displaced, losing their homes, their livelihoods, and their entire family networks. Children were particularly vulnerable, with UNICEF reporting that nearly half of those killed were children who were less able to resist the powerful currents. The economic impact was devastating. Fishing industries were destroyed overnight, agriculture, tourism, and local economies were brought to a complete standstill. The total economic damage was estimated at over $10 billion, with some communities taking more than a decade to show signs of full recovery. Communication and early warnings were critical failures that amplified the disaster's impact. At the time, no comprehensive tsunami warning system existed in the Indian Ocean. Many coastal communities had no way of knowing the danger was approaching until the waves were literally on their doorstep. In the aftermath, the international community mounted the largest humanitarian response in modern history. Over 14 countries and numerous international organizations contributed to relief efforts. More than $13 billion were pledged in aid, with thousands of volunteers working to provide emergency support, medical care, and reconstruction assistance. The scientific community's response was equally significant. The disaster prompted the rapid development of the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System, which is a network of seismic and sea level monitoring stations designed to provide early warnings and potentially save millions of lives in future events. Geological studies revealed that immense power of the earthquake. It was so powerful that it altered the planet's rotation, slightly shortening the length of a day and causing the entire planet to vibrate. The energy released was estimated to be equivalent to 550 million times the energy of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. 15 years after the disaster, many affected communities continue to bear the psychological scars. Survivors speak of lost families, destroyed homes, and the long, challenging path to rebuilding their lives. Memorial sites now stand in many coastal areas, serving as reminders of the lives lost and the resilience of human communities. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami remains a stark reminder of nature's unpredictable and overwhelming power. It transformed our understanding of disaster preparedness, early warning systems, and the critical importance of geological monitoring. Thanks for watching today's video on this devastating but important historical event. If you found this informative, please hit that like button and subscribe for more historical deep dives. And let me know in the comments what other overlooked historical events you'd like to learn about. Until next time, this has been Deadliest Disasters.